They ask, how come I don't see a lot of before and after pictures of you, Mitch? I answer, well, a couple of years ago, I made that video, but as most of the old videos do, they fade into the past. And most of my new subscribers have never found them. So, in response to the request, I'm going to take a walk down memory lane and show you some clips from that video that I recorded over 2 years ago. I hope you enjoy it. I'll probably add a few more comments into it, but by and large, what you're going to see is a video that I recorded 2 years ago. Now, it's worth watching. It tells my story beautifully. That story is still relevant now. Nothing really has changed. As I went on for those additional 2 years, I've remained a devoted carnivore. I've had health issues. I've had my stroke. But in actuality, the stroke has not changed anything that I point out in this video. So, without further ado, we're going to take a walk down memory lane. Let me turn it over to the older me, 2 years younger. Take it away, Mitch. It's astounding just how much 40 pounds looks when you look at the old pictures. Another thing is that any old pictures of me that looked fat, I didn't save. Why would I want to save pictures of me? So I went digging and digging through all of these pictures I have, and I've come up with some pictures of me at different points in my journey along the way, and we're going to compare them to each other and how I look now. And I hope that you'll be as just astounded at the difference from then compared to now. Okay, there you have me from a YouTube video I made 4 years ago. And I hadn't seen this in years, but when I took a look at this video and I looked at the shape of my face, forget about my body, I was absolutely astounded. I think that someone who hasn't seen me until today would not have recognized that guy if he ran into him. Now this comparison is, on the left is me right now, and on the right is me during one of my drone live streams. And again, I don't know where my cheeks went, but they disappeared. Incredible. But like I said, when I first saw these comparisons, I knew that I'd lost some weight. I knew that my body composition had changed, but I had no idea that it was this drastic. I affectionately named this picture Big Mitch. That was actually taken maybe 35 years ago. And I think at that particular point, I may have had a 40, maybe even a 42-inch waist. I didn't think that was anything out of the ordinary, but I was on one of my yo-yo diet peaks, and this was probably, I think, as big as I ever got in my life. But I look at that picture, and I can't believe that was me either. Now, the picture on the left was me taking a selfie. And that's probably about, I would say, maybe 7, 8, 9 years ago. And at that point, I was probably weighing maybe 170, 175. And I was taking the selfie because I was so proud of how thin I looked. And of course, the picture on the right is me a couple weeks ago. Look at the waist and the shape of the face, and it's amazing. It's amazing. I keep saying that, but every time I look at these things, I actually can't believe that that human being could have turned into what I am today. And it only started happening within the past year when I stopped everything but eating a carnivore lifestyle. Okay, in this picture we are up there again, probably 185, 190. This was taken about 15 years ago, and again, you know, you can see my belly there is obvious for what it is, and also you can see my face. Let me see if I can zoom in on my face here a little bit, and you can see just how round a face that I actually had. I mean, I don't think I was bad looking, but I was definitely carrying some weight there. Boy, this is a real walk down memory lane for me. That was probably 16, 17 years ago, and that was my typical look. I was a tropical shirt kind of guy, and this is how you'd usually see me. I loved the tropical shirts because I could wear them outside of my pants and not have to tuck them in and show off my belly. But there it is, the same round face. Never lost that round face until carnivore. Now here's a pretty picture. My last live stream, I told the story about my melanoma on my nose, and I took this particular picture when I had it all bandaged up right after the skin graft and surgery. But I did notice looking at this picture that my face was thinner at that point, and obviously at that point I had probably been doing pretty good on one of the yo-yos down at the bottom end, and some of that round face went away. This was 6 or 7 years ago, and yet in that first picture I showed you from 4 years ago, my big round face was back. So that's just evidence that I've spent my entire life on that roller coaster until I started carnivore a year ago. I opened my restaurant back in 2007, and this was a picture of some friends and myself sitting out in front of the restaurant. Again, wearing the tropical shirt, but you can see that I was not thin in that picture. And the problem was that having a restaurant is not conducive to staying thin. Speaking of the restaurant, this was me on the day we actually fired up our kitchen. The restaurant wasn't open yet, but we had fired up the kitchen for the first time. And the cooks were practicing, and they made me, God, it was good, a crab cake on top of linguine with a beurre blanc sauce, and it was fabulous, and you can see that I was really enjoying it, and I got news for you, that food did not help much. Now here I am, 25 years ago. This was pretty typical of where I stayed most of the time, between success on the diet, which never really lasted long. When I finally got down to where I thought, hey, I'm thin now, I'm there, that never lasted more than a few months before somehow something triggered me and off I went back up again. But most of my life, I seemed to be able to maintain this weight, which was about 170, 175. And although I have no gray, because this was quite a while ago, you can see that even then, I still had that round face that I don't have, and I certainly don't have now. And that brings me to today. Now, when I first looked in the mirror at the gym, this was taken 3-4 weeks ago. When I first looked in the mirror at the gym and saw that, I almost dropped. I could not believe it, because for the first time in my life, I had looked in the mirror and I looked like just a normal man instead of the Pillsbury Doughboy. My face, the shape of my face, compared to the round face pictures you've just seen, was crazy. It was crazy. I never thought that a face could change quite that much. But it wasn't just my face that changed. I have had not only getting rid of all of the things that were wrong with me, which aren't wrong with me now, getting a whole new mental perspective and psychological profile designed to not want any of the crap that I used to want, to see the physical transformation and the mental and psychological transformation that 1 year of eating carnivore with no deviations, I'm still dumbfounded. I still would not have believed that this was possible, that Mitch could get down on the floor and do 25 push-ups without breaking a sweat, because 1 year ago today, I could not do 2 push-ups, not 2. And by pushing, trying to get that second push-up up, I thought I got so out of breath that I had to rest. So 1 year, eat meat. It happened to me, and that's all I can show you guys. So, I think you've seen enough of me then and now. At least I'll have this video out there on the record, so the next time somebody asks me the question, I can say, oh, I happen to have a video of that on my channel. Does that sound familiar? I've always wanted to do that. And you can see, without a doubt, that there have been just profound changes in every aspect of my life. From 1 year. I weighed 138 pounds this morning. I have 15% body fat, so I'm not starving to death. My BMI is 20, and my digital scale that does the body measurements says that I'm pretty well within the range of a normal weight for a male my age and my height. So even though everybody's telling me that I'm starving to death, I'm getting too skinny, I don't think so. I think that I'm getting the kind of body that a 20 or 30-year-old might consider normal. And certainly you don't find in too many 76-year-old men. 1 year on carnivore. So with that, we'll wrap this up. Y'all have the rest of the day off and eat meat.